The Calgary Police Service has laid charges in connection with a homicide that occurred earlier this week in the community of Bankview. Shortly before 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday, November 22nd, 2016, a man walked into a Calgary Fire Department station on 10th Avenue Southwest saying he needed help for his roommate. Firefighters drove the man back to a home in the 1800 block, 17th Street Southwest, where they located a deceased man and contacted police. The deceased man was later identified as Richard Pember, age 58, of Calgary. 2 days after the incident, police asked for the public's assistance in locating a person of interest in this case. This man was located early on Friday morning and interviewed for most of the day by homicide investigators. Zachery Frederick RIDER, age 36, of no fixed address, is charged with the following: 1 count of second-degree murder. He is also charged with 1 count of assault, 1 count of assault with a weapon in relation to injuries sustained by a second victim at that same location where Richard Pember was found. Ryder is next scheduled to appear in court on Monday morning, November 28th, 2016. This investigation is ongoing. However, police are not searching for any other suspects at this time. Go ahead. Take your questions.
What do you know of the relationship between these two men?
The relationship between all three were friends. They were acquaintances. They knew each other.
Was the second victim the roommate that went and got help?
Correct. Yes.
And you say no fixed address. Is the guy from Calgary though? Is he from the area? Did he move here?
He is from the Calgary area, but residing at no fixed address.
Okay.
Michael, does it make the case a little bit easier when the accused pretty much essentially presents himself to yourself or to authorities? How much easier does that make the case to investigate?
It certainly facilitated our investigation in the fact that we were able to talk to him, which we needed to do because we needed to identify that third person. We did identify them, and then we couldn't locate him. So when we did locate him, we interviewed him at length, and also other things were happening at the same time. He was uncooperative with our investigation, but nonetheless, we liaised with the Crown Prosecutor's Office, and it was determined that evidence existed to lay the second-degree murder charge.
Why was the assault charge additionally added to the initial murder charge?
There were 2 victims in this case. So our deceased victim, Pember, he was charged with, Ryder was charged with second degree in relation to that. And the first victim was assaulted prior to the assault on Pember, and he sustained some major injuries, but nothing life-threatening. So 2 victims.
Alcohol involved in this situation, Michael?
Yes, alcohol was a definite factor.
Any drugs linked or anything like that?
There's no knowledge of any drugs.
And any of these individuals know the police prior to their attending?
Mr. Ryder is known to Calgary Police Service, yes.
What, if anything, do you know of the timeline of the deceased? Did it happen the same day that morning? Or?
Based on the investigation, and it's ongoing, we believe that Mr. Pember died in the early morning hours of that Tuesday, November 22nd. Yes, correct. After there was an altercation of some sort in the residence, and a fight ensued.
So then are you continually in contact with that second victim to figure out that long time span before he went and got help?
We've spoken to that second victim, who was a material witness, and we have a very good statement from that individual.
If it happened in an apartment building, have any other witnesses or bystanders come forward with any information?
It did occur in a transitional housing complex, so there's a number of units in that building. We did do a neighborhood canvass, and we were able to determine that some people had heard some loud voices and that type of thing, but there were no other eyewitnesses to the actual event.
Is it fair to say the deceased was, I guess, a client or living in the transitional house?
He did live there, yes, correct.
And you don't know anything more about the deceased that you can share as far as who he was or where he's from or anything like that?
We can't offer any other information on that.
Can you speak to the workload on the homicide investigators this year with the 26 murders only this year?
Yeah, the investigators have been busy for sure. 26. We're about the same numbers as we were, maybe just a little less than 2015. But with that being said, the guys are extremely busy, and essentially our average is around 35 a year. It was in 2015, so we'll see where that shakes out.
And what's the rate of solving cases at this point out this year?
I can't comment on that. I have no idea on our clearance rate.
Michael, are you able to share the cause of death in this situation?
Unfortunately, because the matter is currently before the courts, and that forms part of the evidence, I cannot comment on cause of death. Just the manner of death, which was ruled by the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, was homicide.
Is there any details as to what the men were doing that evening? Like if there was just a normal night? I mean, is there any information of what they were doing at the time?
The investigation to date has shown that there was just a party at this residence with 3 individuals involving alcohol, and that at some point during the evening, things got out of hand.
And they were all friends or close associates?
That's correct.